Recording.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very glad for this space for all of my classmates and or monitor Gina for being here. My name is Sofia Moreno Jaimes, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about a life between two worlds, the immigrant experience. This is going to be like a general general information, but also a little bit about my personal experience too. This is a very personal and profoundly topic in our world, and more right now in the United States. Uh, when a person move, it can be by choice, or it can be also because they are like trying to like crossing the border because they are like escaping for of a reality or of a bad experience that they have had. So when they cross that border and they decide to immigrate, it starts like a journey of like change, an emotional journey, a journey of identity, emotions, and also resilience, I would say. In this short webinar, we will look through different stages and important aspects of an immigrant, of what an immigrant experience when that person arrives to a new country or even a new city. Um, it can face two different worlds regarding like emotionally, culturally, and socially, and we will talk about what we can learn from that. Okay, so my agenda. We are going to talk a little bit about the emotional journey. We'll talk about like what the immigrants face, like from cultural shock to homesickness. Then we are going to talk about identity and belonging. We are going to talk about how it feels to balance two cultures, two languages, and trying to find a place where you belong. And then we are going to talk about social and legal challenges, challenges that immigrants can find, like work, healthcare, insurance, housing, legal system, visas, all that stuff. We're going to talk a little bit. And at the end, I'm just going to conclude the webinar and well, we will have like 1 to 2 minutes to answer your question or listen to your comments. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the emotional journey. So here in this slide, you can see like the different types of stages that an immigrant can experience as soon as they get to a new city or a new country. First, excitement and thanks. Thank you. I don't know. Thank you, United States. I'm so grateful to be here. The first few days is like very amazing to feel that you made it. You could cross the border, you could get into the country. Everything feels very excited. But then, after you start seeing how everything is different than your country, for me, I am from Villavicencio. It's not like that well developed city. But then I moved to Washington, D.C., and for me, it was like, whoa, this is too much. We don't even have metro in Bogota. This can be a lot. Um, I can't do this. This life is too, is in a rush. I can't. It's like too much. And then after we feel numb, we start losing our illusion, our dreams, our expectations, our objectives. I'm pretty sure that most of the immigrants have like a lot of objectives and goals when they move to a different country or a different city. But when they see the reality and when they see that it is not like in the movies, you start thinking, I didn't expect things like this. I thought that this was going to be different. And then the emotional journey start hitting you. Depression. Well, thank goodness I didn't express that. But I feel sad. I feel sadness. I feel helpless. I feel that everything is unfair. The prices are too high. I don't have rights here because I'm an immigrant. But then after that, you start like listening different types of experience from other people. And then you're like, okay, in my case, if God put me here in this city, it's because I need to do something here. I accept life here. I will have to accept the cultural shocks and I will have to accept the changes. And it's imperfect right now, but I will work with that acceptance. And then later on, after it can be, hopefully, it can be days, but mostly after years or even several months, you will feel more settled. You will feel like, okay, I'm used to take the bus, the metro. I used to go to do the groceries, to drive everything. So you start seeing like the light at the end of the tunnel. But this is a very hard journey because a lot of immigrants can experience it in a different way. But this is very important. Every immigrant has passed through this emotional journey. Now we are going to talk about the identity and belonging. When you move to a different country, cultures can make you start questioning, like, what am I now? Before I was a Colombian, I was a student, but what am I now? Here I'm a student, but like, what else am I? So, this is a question that people often ask, and you don't know because it's like Hannah Montana. You live in two different worlds and you have two different personalities. This thought uh, stars make you questioning your identity. Sometimes it can conflict, but it is very important to balance between what your life was and what it is right now. Over time, people will find peace and they will find in some kind of way identity and a belonging here. I have a phrase here of a friend that she was saying, at school, I'm too foreign. I'm too Colombian. At home, I'm too American. And I'm always translating. It's not just a language, but identity. Identity and lack of belonging is a very hard for immigrants. And now we'll talk about social challenges. Many immigrants work very, very hard, but still we face a lot of discrimination and we don't get paid that well. Nowadays in America, like people is struggling a lot with Trump laws and everything. So it's very stressful and it can give you a lot of anxiety. But this is definitely something that all immigrants have to face. And now, because of time, I'm going to pass to the conclusion. The conclusion is that yes, this journey can be very hard for immigrants, but as I said, at the end of the day, it can be a light at the end of the tunnel. Um, to be an immigrant is to be brave, is to carry two worlds, the country that you used to live, your life before, and the life that now you are creating. My hope is that today's webinar help you to see a little bit more the human side of the immigration process. It is not just about politics, laws, trips, pictures on Instagram, but it is also more like an emotional journey. And thank you very much. This was my mini webinar. And I don't know if you have any question. I just passed the 8 minutes here, but I don't know. Can I answer the questions, teacher?
Yes, so now we're going to have 5 minutes
Okay.
for the Q&A session. So just allow me a second. I'm just going to set the 5 minutes here. So thank you so much, Sofia. So now we're just going to let the rest of the students to ask your question. So who wants to start? Who wants to ask the first question? So 5 minutes from now, guys. I don't know, is it Nelson? Ah, me ladies?
Teacher,
No, I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's me.
Me either.
okay, I am a question for Sofia.
Mhm.
Yes.
Sofia, tell me how has living in the United States changed your perspective on Colombia culture?
how living in the United States has changed my perspective from Colombia a lot. I realized that Colombia is very rich, even though that unfortunately we have a lot of corruption and things are not that safe right now. But I'm going to give you an example. The fact that you can go to the doctor and you can receive medical assistance, that's a lot. Here, I I'm going to give you this example. I cut this finger, a small cut, and it got infected. So I needed antibiotics. It was very, very small. I just went there, they check. They said like, "Oh yes, Sophia, you need antibiotics." I just spent 5 minutes there. And after that, I have to pay almost 1 million of pesos just for that. So medicine and health insurance is more accessible in Colombia. I know that you have to wait a lot, but at least you don't have to pay that much, I will say. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Miladies, for the question.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, Nelson, Melina, Vivian. We have 2 minutes and 41 seconds left. Okay, well, I do have a question for you,
Mhm.
Sophia. So yeah, you mentioned like the feeling of being too foreign at school, but and too local at home. So how do you think? Well, let's just talk about schools. How do you think schools can better support students going through identity conflict?
Um, well, right now I'm studying in a language institute. Um, so I don't think they actually support that much. I have a classmate, she's from Arabia Saudi, and everything, she got here like a month ago. Everything is so different. The teacher, the fact, I'm going to show you here the notes. The fact, like, this is like a book, right? And we open the book like this and we write from here to here. But then, because of their writing, they start from the back to the front.
Mm.
Everything is different. And she was actually, we were talking about that today, and she was like, I feel completely lost and I don't have any support. I will say that maybe schools uh, should help the students, or more language institutes, because they are for foreign students. They should give them like a psychological support because it's very overwhelming. It's definitely very overwhelming.
Yes, it is. Thank you for your answer, Sophia. Well, does anyone else want to ask a question? Well, I don't think so. So 30 seconds. Let's just leave it like this. So, Sophia,
What challenges do migrants face?
ah, rayos.
Was that Vivian or Melina?
I think it was Melina.
Okay, what challenges immigrants face? A lot, I will say a lot. But I will talk from here, America. Right now, immigrants are facing a lot of like legal challenges because, as you know, Trump is going crazy. Um, and even though, like for example, I am in a legal uh, air like space, I'm not illegal. I have everything perfect. My curriculum is perfect. I don't have anything bad. You still feel like a stress. You still feel like a criminal for being from another country because unfortunately, people or Trump is stopping people that it is like me. It has everything legal, and just because their skin is dark, he will send them back to Colombia just because of that. Or just because he's a policeman, hear you speaking in Spanish, they will think, oh, this is an illegal immigrant, so I'm going to deport it. So it's it's very wild, I will say.
My goodness. Okay. So thank you guys. So now we're going to just move into the feedback part. So Sophia, yeah, your presentation was truly engaging and heartfelt as well. I consider you did a great job connecting your personal experience with like broader issues that many immigrants face today. And yeah, regarding your English, your pronunciation was clear and natural, and it was evident that you were speaking, like not reading or, like you were actually prepared for it for the presentation, which made your delivery very authentic. So thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Um, Good. So I'm just going to stop your recording here. There you go.